Ask me no questions, I will tell you no lies. I'm gonna put a picture over here of what I was attempting to recreate for this module. I think there's 4 assignments in this module, y'all. This is the first one, and it's supposed to be a 1920s look. From right here, it looks okay though, right? And from over here, it looks okay, right? But when you look straight, the blending. Ugh. So what I used is, and again, this is the picture. And with the 1920s, it's the really thin brow. So we had to block out the brows, and it's just like a, you saw the picture. And the lip is a little lip, and it's heart shaped. I should have used a lighter color for the outside, but then it wasn't looking right because the color contrast was too much. But if you just look right here, so I did overline the top lip and I overline the bottom lip. Y'all, I used 4 products for this lip. So what I used for the deep purple, I used this shade here. And for the lid, that's this shade. These are Lethal Shadows. For the other shadows, I used Planet Fitness. It is not. Planet Fitness is an exercise place. Planet Spirit Palette. And I used this pink to blend out the purple, but this gold was so shiny. That's this shade. This was so shiny, it ate the pink. You can see the pink over here, but up here, that's why it looks like it's not blended. You can see a little bit of the pink right here. But I did the pink all the way across, and it did, this ate it. And what did I do? Lower lash line, we used a whole lot of stuff. But over the different gel liners we put under there, we put, I think, the same purple on the outer half. Well, actually all over the lower lash line. And then we took this red and put also just to blow it down. And then we buffed it out with this because, again, this is the picture. So she has a lot, it's really blown out. And also for the 1920s, for the demonstration, they were saying no contour, no bronzer, heavy on the blush, and it's a little bit of highlight. And so, like, I like the side view. I like the side view, but straight, this looks so friggin' harsh. If I go like this, it looks okay. Doesn't quite look like that though, but when I look like this, it's just. And so I did send her an email to let her know, you know, what I think about it. So that way, at least, you know, she'll know that I'm aware. So I shouldn't have taken this purple up that high. That's what it is. And so it's turning out to be kind of tricky because some looks, it's like take the lid shades up higher. And even for me, I'm like, take the lid shades up higher. And then other looks, I'm like, it shouldn't be that high. And so what I think is that if it's a darker shadow, so I'm learning here, this is a good thing. So what I'm thinking is if it's a darker shade, don't take it up that high. But if it's a shimmer shade that'll just blend into my skin tone, like some shadows do when I do 3 shadows on the lid, you know, one here, and one here, if they're all shimmers and the way they blend out, and it'll look like I have a brow bone shade and I don't. And so I'm gonna have to make a note of this because I really do think that's what it is. It just depends on how deep this shade is, which will determine how high up I take this transition shade. So yeah, and in the picture, this was straight across. And she did have a different eye shape in the picture. So when you look at her, you see the purple here, which is like a straight edge going straight up and coming in. And then you see the shadow on the lid. And then you see it out on the edge. I did use the purple in here too. This purple I used inside here and inside here. The Lethal purple is all the way out and all the way in. And this is on the insides of it that leads into this shade. That's from Lethal. And so, and this I keep steering. So in hers, this wasn't this high up. So I should have just brought it down. Not took it that far up. But then looking at how this was up to her brow and looking how high this was, it was a gap right here. Because even where you see it's darker right here, that's that Lethal shadow. So I brung it to here and then I did out here. And so there was a gap from like here to here. And I'm like, what do I do with that? And so, you know, I put it there. So I am learning. So I'll let you know what her feedback is going to be because I'm curious. And I did one of the pictures because I told you before it's a picture straight and then a picture with our eyes closed. And if it's something dealing with the wing or something, then it's a side picture. And so out of that collage picture, and that's how I found it on the internet, I put where she's facing this way and I'm facing this way. So we're kind of looking at each other. Well, our eyes are closed, so we're not looking at each other. And hers is a picture, so we're not looking at each other. But our faces were facing, like our noses were facing. So she can see like what I was trying to do. I mean, y'all see the vision, right? And I do like the lip. I never overline my top lip. And you see this? And trying to get it even, trying to get like an even Cupid's bow thing. And it's not even like an arch. It's like, it's rounded. And so you can see where like it comes to here, and then right here comes to here, and then it just stops. My first time overlining my upper lip, I was gonna say my upper lash line. So I like the lip for a particular look. This is not something I would normally do, but I would have to figure out something with the colors over here, excuse me for smacking, because the contrast is just too much. And even in the pictures, you can tell it's not natural. And she had the gloss in the middle, which I did do that. So, but yeah, we're going to go hang tight. I'll let you know what she said. Here we are with one of the Module 12 assignments. I believe there were 4. This one was, I forget what it was. What was it? Because we did a look, and then we had to like bump it up or amp it up into an ethnic bridal look, which included a cut crease, and adding gloss to the dark lip from the previous look, and deepening up the crease and the wings and stuff like that. So this is what that is. So yeah, this is my cut crease look, y'all. Let me know what you think, and I'll see what she thinks, and then I'll let you know like what happened. So I am glad though that both of these looks called for a dark lip, because y'all know I love me in a dark lip. So the previous look with this, without it being bumped up, it was just a matte dark lip. And then for this, I added, what did I add to it? I added fruit snacks to it. Yeah, no, Fuchsia Flex. I added this to it. And I love how this looks. I really do. So hang tight to hear what the critique was and her feedback to this and the look before we did more stuff. This is the last assignment for Module 12, and it's supposed to be a 1960s Twiggy inspired look. I swear in person it looks more blended. I don't know if it's because I'm using shades that's so close to my skin tone or not, but per the instructions they say use a skin tone shade and then put a darker shade, and I think just the contrast is making it look like it's not blended. Like from here it looks good, but up here it doesn't. And so I put a note for my tutor asking, why does it look blended in person? Like when I look back here, it looks blended, but then in pictures, it doesn't. I think it's just the contrast between the skin tone shades, and then they say take a dark shade. Actually, they said use the black. I didn't use the black. I used a dark brown, and then I blended it with a lighter brown. And so you can kind of see maybe the different shades of brown. I have 3 different shades of brown up here, and this is the deepest. And so I don't know. So that hopefully she'll have an answer for me that my brain can understand what she's saying, because even the cut crease look, it didn't look blended, but when I look down here and back here, it looks like it's blended. So I don't know. So hopefully, and it's supposed to be a nude cheek and a nude lip, so we're back to the nudes. But yeah, I'll let you know what she says. All right, y'all, so just hang tight and you hear what her feedback is and how I'm doing. I added more transition colors, but then when I look back at the pictures, I'm going to pop up a few over here. Like Twiggy's look, it was just a sharp line. And so now I'm thinking it might have been okay, but I'm just used to it being blended. And in my mind, I keep hearing how in the majority of my looks after the first batch of assignments, so I think it might have been Module 5, moving forward, she was always saying my blending was good, and so I was looking at that like, this ain't it. But when I'm looking at Twiggy's looks and looks inspired by her, excuse me for smacking, it was just a sharp line, and so it might be okay. But so I took pictures of this after I added more transition shades, and submitted this as well, and so I'll let you know what my tutor says. Hey y'all, we're going to start with, oh, not vanilla bean. I'm going to start with strawberry kiwi. I just had breakfast a little while ago, and I wrote down critique. So for Module 12, there were 5 different looks, I think. Before were submissions. I got to redo 3. And I could tell. I figured out how I can tell. Because the video response, it feels like there's something crunchy in my brow. Like, what? I realized when I was looking at the emails, because I saw she had sent me 5. And I'm just like, but I do. And I was thinking earlier that she may have been waiting. Probably not, though. And I know she's busy. And I imagine I'm not her only tutor person. But I was thinking earlier when I woke up, well, during one of my wake ups, I said, I wonder if she's waiting just to receive all of them for module 12 or not. And so she did them all. And I'm just like, and so each submission, there's a separate video. And so what I realized was, if it's short, if the video critique is short, like less than 2 minutes, it's a go. And if it's longer than that, it's a resubmit, because she does explain, okay, what I did or what it looks like I did, because when you just send in a picture, they're not there to watch you and see like what you're doing. And so talking about what it looks like, maybe where I went wrong, but not wrong, but what I can improve on, and then giving tips on how to improve whatever the thing was that we were supposed to do. And so by the second one that I looked at, I'm like, okay, this is a redo, because it I was just like, this is kind of long. No, actually, let me see. So I wrote down notes as I was watching the video, so I can tell you what she said, and also for me to remember to do, what she said to do. So we had, where's it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 submissions for module 12. So the number I said earlier was wrong. I was thinking it was 4, but it was 5 submissions. So the first one, it was 51 seconds long. So I'm like, okay, that's gotta be good. I'm like, that's gotta be good. And it was good. And that was the wet look. And that was the resubmission, actually. So it really was 4 for this one, I think. I don't know. To make the eyes look glossy and this look glossy, and for it to really look like it was wet. I hated that look. I didn't hate the look. I hated the feel of whatever it was, I forget, that I used to make it glossy. It just felt so heavy and thick on my lids, and it did crease horribly like they said it would. And in the demonstration, she had said, if you're doing a glossy wet look, do the glossy wet whatever you're using right before they take the photographs, because they said once the model opens her eyes and closes them, it's going to start creasing. And it did crease horribly. I couldn't wait to wash that off. So she said it looked amazing. It looked really glossy. She said she loves the lips, and I think I did the same thing with the lips. She said the eye look, there was depth and dimension, and she said my cheeks looked juicy. And I'm like, oh, not juicy cheeks. And so she really liked the submission, and she did say that my submissions really are always excellent. So the 1920s, when we had to block off the brow, that one was 3 minutes and 44 seconds long. I'm like, that cannot be good. But it sounded good, because she always starts out, my complexion products, the coloring, all of that, she's always saying is really good. And so she knows I can do the base. And she said it looked really nice. She said for the lips, and I remember saying how, and I did write notes, and so she does read the notes, because she's telling me things that I said, and so she knew that I wasn't really happy with it. And I kind of think, like, if I hadn't said all of those things, like, maybe she would have gave me a pass. Like, I don't know. Because I was saying how the lips, like, it was just too much of a contrast with the color over here. But, like, this part right here looked really good. But she said overall it looked nice as far as the brows. She had said for the lips, just to block out the lips or blank out the lips, or just use a lighter color all over and then trace out the heart shape in the middle. And that made sense to me. So I was like, okay. So that's what she said. So that was a redo. And she said I can use this. Well, she said to use the same colors, but just to blank out the lips, either with a lighter lipstick and then do the darker shade for the heart shape. And for the eyes, I had put a note how the purple kept eating the pink. And so she was saying, create the shape with the pink lipstick so that the purple doesn't eat the pink. And I'm thinking, most of my lipsticks are liquid lipsticks. But then I remembered that my shoulder just popped. What the hell? there is a lipstick palette in the kit, but that's a cream. And so I'm like, so I'm not really sure. Like, I'm not really sure. And I do have lip liners. I do have pink lip liners I can use because I did purchase some for like other looks. And so I have this one, which isn't really pink. And none of these are like really pink, but let me hold it this way because I know I'm just being awkward. And so I'm not really sure. Because eyeshadows are powders. And so to say you put a pink, yeah, I'm a little confused, as you can tell. So create the shape with a pink lipstick so that the purple doesn't eat the pink. But then if I use a lipstick, first of all, it's going to crease. And then the purple shadow. So I'm a little confused, but I'm going to try it. And she said that she's confident it'll be amazing because she says every time I do resubmit, it is amazing, and she knows that I can do it. And so and I knew this before, but it's really hitting home for me that, and I'm sure I did say it before, like they really want to know that we are learning, and that even if it's not like our 100% best, at least knowing that we understand the concept. Because it was something before, and she's like, well, you did say this and this and that, and so I know that you understand the concept. And so she gave me a pass on that one. And she did also still say, you know, what I could have done to improve it. But because I was aware and I said, you know, this is what I don't like, blah, 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 blah. And she knew that I knew, you know what I'm saying? And so I do appreciate that. And so I need to redo that one. But now that I'm looking at this note again, I'm looking confused. And I need to see where that pink was. Like if it was somewhere up here, okay, yeah, do a lipstick. But if it's like somewhere in here, like I don't know. And so the 1930s look, that was 1:44 seconds. I'm like, okay, that's good. Because I'm like, I already got one redo out of 3. I'm like, well, out of 2 so far. She says she loves the colors that I use. The look is nice, and of course the contour, all of that stuff she really liked. And there was a thing with the liner, and y'all know, if y'all been here any length of time, y'all know I have this accidental swoosh thing that happens because it tends to come under, even without smiling, like you can see right here, like where it just kind of goes around. And me and Janessa have this pact for this year to perfect our wing liner. And I was saying mine does the accidental swoosh, and in that look, it was an accidental swoosh. So she was saying, in the demos, and the tutor doesn't do the demos, the tutor is a different person. But for the demos, they say start at the lower lash line and come straight up. But when I come straight up, then it's going to interfere with the fold. And so that's my challenge is, and then other videos, not in this program, but I remember Smith at the Pack saying just follow your lower lash line straight out and then bring it straight back in without trying to do like an exaggerated wing or a longer wing. And I can do that, and I have done that even with shadow, just like kind of bring it right here and then just bring it back. But if I go anywhere past here, it's going to be a bat wing. And so that's my challenge, because you see how puffy this is. And so even if I follow this, I don't want to put this on my face, but let me use this brush. This is one that came with the kit. So even if I come out, excuse me, and I have done it a few times by accident, and it did look really nice, but it's just trying to do it on purpose. So, and they say do it with your eyes closed. Okay, how can I see? Because it's on me. So, so even if, okay, here's my lower lash line right here. Even if I come straight this way, I mean, I could just bring it straight back under where this crease is. And so I could do that. So that would be the thing. And I don't just want to just do one line out, because then it's going to look like one line just hanging out. You know what I mean? And so I feel like I would need to bring it in to connect it with the upper lash line. And so even starting down here, because I only have from here to here to work with before I get to where the crease is and where the puffiness is. You see what I'm saying? And so, yeah, just bringing it straight. And she said come upward versus straight out. So if I come upward, even here, like I'm past the crease and I'm up to the puffiness, and then just bring it back and hope that it doesn't create a bat wing because of the crease right here. or the fold that's right here. So that's my challenge. So I understand what she's saying, but when I look at my eye shape, because the puffiness comes all the way down to here, but I'm supposed to bring this straight up, which will bring it past the fold and also into the puff, and then it may look like a bat wing. And I do like the look of bat wings, I just don't always want them, because when I do a bat wing, when I'm looking straight, it looks nice, but then when I look down, it looks like a bat wing, and I don't want it to look like a bat wing. So, and the idea is that when you look down, that it still looks straight and not a bat wing. But I got all of this this is the challenge. So that's the redo. And so I do understand what she's saying though. And I have been working on not having a swoosh, and there's been a few times when I didn't have the swoosh and I'm like, yes. So I know I can do it. It's just figuring out what exactly I'm doing to not have the swoosh and to not have a bat wing, and being hyper aware of what I did so that I can recreate it on a regular basis. You know what I'm saying? Because the accidental swoosh thing just comes natural. So just really paying attention to what am I doing to get it straight and not a swoosh, and for it to be a wing and not a bat wing. And for that to become my normal, and for that to become my habit, versus the accidental swoosh, which is me just kind of following where, excuse me for smacking, where this puff is right here. You know what I'm saying? And even when you see my wrinkles, like you see 2 lines right here. So that could be the wing, but then when I look down, is it going to look weird? But yeah, and I understand on someone else just have them close their eyes, but then some say with the eyes open. So that confuses me too. But yeah, so she said with the eyes closed, but then in the demo they say with the eyes open, or maybe she mixed that up, or maybe I mixed it up. I don't know, because I can't do my liner with my eyes closed. But I have seen on models and on demos, sometimes it is with their eye closed. So I don't know. I don't know. So that's not a redo, thankfully, because she just said to make sure I just follow the lower lash line and just come straight. So what I think it might be is, instead of on the corner, like actually start from down here. Because if I start from where the lower lash line is, this is what I think she's saying. If I start from where the lower lash line is, and if I bring that straight, that's going to be out here. And then bring it back, and it'll still be under where the fold is. That's what I think. Okay. All right, I think I got it. I think I got it. I said it 3 times, hoping it'll stick in my brain. Okay, the cut crease look. That one, y'all, was 3 minutes and 34 seconds. And I'm like, that's the do-over. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, that's the do-over. Because I didn't realize the pattern until this one, because it was 5 video replies. So when I saw 3 minutes and 34 seconds, I'm like, that's the do-over. I was like, damn. And I liked it. I liked it. She said again with the liner. Yeah. Which I do know, I that swoosh thing, but so for the cut crease, actually, she said to crisp it up. She said use the same colors, but have a sharper line for more dramatic color differentiation. And she said to start with the dark brown. And I did do the crease work first. So she's saying start with the dark color for the crease. I did do that. And then do the lighter shade underneath. And she said to be sure, you know, to block out this area and stuff like that. So yeah, she said do the crease and then work my way down. And that is actually how I did that look. But again, just seeing the pictures, you know, you don't see actually what we're doing. But so yes, I need to redo that, but she did like the colors. She said use the same colors. I'm just like, can I do something? No, so use the same colors. And she usually does say that she likes my color choices, like for my eyeshadow and for the lip. And if I do pack on blush, which for me it looks like too much, but in the pictures on the bright light, it doesn't look like it's too much. And so she usually does say, like when I do pack on blush, she'll say, you know, I like, you know, the amount of blush you use for this look, yada, yada, yada. So I do know like my base face is good. I just have to remember to add more blush if there's going to be photography, and even if not flash photography, because even here under bright lights, when I put on a Acai Sky, which is dark, it may not look dark under the bright lights, you know what I mean? And so that's something I need to remember. And then I think about Tanya a lot. Hey girl, hey, because she loves her blush. And she'll be like, this looks like a lot of blush. Let's add more. And so sometimes when I'm doing blush, I'm like, ooh, that looks like too much. Let's put on more, because I know under the bright lights, more is not going to look like it's too much. And so thank you, Tanya, for that. And so Tanya's in my head sometimes when I'm doing some of these looks when it comes to blush. And so that's a do-over. So just making sure that the cut crease line is crisp, and make so that there will be more of a color differentiation. So that was that one. I'm just like, I got 3, and I'm looking at my calendar like I didn't plan on all these redos. But today is Sunday, August 25th. And I was going to do an assignment for module 13 tonight. And I said, you know what? Because then when I woke up, I'm like, I'm not going to do any, because I rested well. I had my normal wake ups, but I feel somewhat well rested. But I also feel like I just want to just hold on to this for a little bit and just continue relaxing and just have a day off and not do any homework or assignments. You know what I mean? And then the conference is coming up next week. And so part of me feels like I just want to have all the looks done, because I don't plan on doing assignments while I'm there. But now I'm thinking, am I going to? Because that would mean taking extra stuff versus just like my regular makeup that I was going to take. And so that's another video. I might talk about that tomorrow night in the live, and you'll see this way after that. So the next one, what am I looking at? So the cut crease, so that's a redo. The black brow is a redo. She did say she was able to see some of my brows through how I blocked it, but it wasn't a big deal. And maybe because the rest of the stuff was like, okay, the lip just, you know, whatever. But so the 1930s look, yeah, we talked about that. Just, you know, don't do the swoosh, which I've been working on for a very long time. The cut crease is a redo. And the Twiggy look, y'all. And y'all know what I was saying about like the blending wasn't it. And then I went back and added more color up here and did more blending. She said the blending was fine. She's like, the blending was not the issue. And I'm like, and I remember when I came back after I had added the other colors for blending, when I said, well, the Twiggy look, it is a sharp line. And so maybe it'll be okay. So part of me was thinking the look will be okay. And I'll be okay. I'll be okay with that. No, I wasn't okay with that. But I was right about it being a sharp line. And so what her critique was, y'all, that video response was 4 minutes and 56 seconds. And so when I saw that, I already knew. I'm like, this will be 3 redos out of 5, 4, 5, whatever. And she said the cut crease didn't have enough dimension. And I was like, okay. She said the blending was good. She said the blending was not an issue. And even another look that I did when I talked about the blending, she's like, your blending is excellent. She said, so I know you know how to blend. So she was like, but let's just redo this. And I'm like, fuck. She says, I know you know how to blend. Your blending is excellent. But for the cut crease, it's not supposed to look blended. She said, consider it like a graphic liner. And when she said that, I was like, okay. And even looking at it, when I popped up the pictures, I said, it is just like a harsh line. But it wasn't clicking for me. But when she said it's supposed to look like graphic liner or a graphic line, I was like, okay. And then you do blend up here, but between where the line is, well, no, you don't even blend up here. So what she had said was, to do the graphic line, she said, even if I use a pencil liner, she said use a wooden pencil, and y'all, she said not the mechanical ones, because she said the mechanical ones, the retractable ones, which I like, she said because they can dry out and get stiff, but for me, I don't find that's true. So, it might be the ones I use, the NYX, MAC, and the Sephora ones. She said use the pencil liners because they stay softer and they're more, you know, whatever. And for me, that's the opposite. The pencil ones to me just kind of drag. So, but then it might be the products I'm using. Well, I'm sure it's the products I'm using. So she said either use a pencil liner or eyeliner and draw the line. Draw the line. And yes, use black. And then take a small detailed brush and use a dark shadow and just kind of go over that line. So that way it'll not blend it out, but it won't just look like a straight line. So it'll be a line, and then she said almost like a cut crease. How they do the line and then they kind of soften it or just blend it up just a tiny bit, but still with the twiggy look, it is just a sharp line as you saw from the pictures I popped up earlier. And this video will be after all of those looks so that you can at least, I think, kind of know what looks I'm talking about, because I'm not going to pop them up again because that's a lot. So yeah, use pencil liner to create the shape, or use a gel liner, and then take a detail brush and blend the line with shadow and lightly buff it together. That's what she said. She said the illusion is to create a graphic line and an illusion of it not being blended, because, and then when she enlarged the Twiggy picture, because I told you how she's on her tablet and she'll like hold up the tablet and she'll enlarge it and she'll be like, and then this here, so you can see exactly what she's saying. And even for the pictures I submit, she'll enlarge it and say like, well, right here, blah blah blah. So it's really good and very detailed, and so there's no way to not understand what she's saying, except if something just doesn't make sense in my mind. Like when she was saying use the pink lipstick, and then I was just like, what? Or when she was saying come up on the line, but I did figure that out. Start down here and not like in the crease. Well, the actual corner, start from the lower lash line. So thank you for helping me understand, because sometimes when I keep trying to figure it out and I'm outwardly processing, it does help me to be like, okay, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And so, so even though, so she enlarged it, and even looking at it, but I don't think I paid attention to it, or I was just thinking, I don't know what I was thinking. But when she enlarged it, you can see, what is this? You can see where there's a black line, but then you can also see the shadow on top of the line. And that's what I really wasn't paying attention to. So it looks like the line is this thick, which it is, but the bottom of that line is just that liner line. You see what I'm saying? And so I feel I feel a tad overwhelmed because I have 3 looks I need to redo. And I think I'm feeling slightly overwhelmed because I have to fit that into my calendar. And I didn't have that planned in my calendar. And then the conference is coming up. And so I'm going to have to consult my calendar and figure out, like, am I going to just do one tonight, one tomorrow, which is Monday, which my live stream is tomorrow, and I have an appointment at the VA hospital tomorrow. Or I still could, since I'm up late at night. If I do a look early enough and then wash it off and leave like 4 or 5, 6 hours in between, then do the other look. Because part of me wants to have this done before I leave Wednesday for the conference. But yeah, so I'll figure that out, but not right here, right now in this video. But I just wanted to let y'all know like what her critiques were and what I've learned from it. And she has said for the Twiggy one, since it is kind of like a cut crease, she's like, I'm sure you're going to do well. She said all of your resubmissions are excellent, and I know that you can do it. And you know your base is always good. The brows are always good. You know, the blending, she's like, I know you can blend. And she's like, you've been doing excellent work, so I know you can do it. And it feels good to hear that, because it's like, I know I can too. I just needed to understand, like, what do I need to correct? And she is very detailed on what to correct. And that's what helps me for my submission. She's like always really great, is because she gives detailed feedback and I really take that in. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, so I got work to do. I just need to see where I can fit it in while not overwhelming myself. But yeah, so yeah, we're going to move on to, you'll see me again for module 13, because I'm going to resubmit these, and then I have looks to do for module 13. I think there might be 2. I don't know, but we're going to go. So thank you for being here, and y'all, this is a lot. I'm really in school, and I've had a lot of schooling, so I'm just like, I'm here again. But we're going to go, and thank you for being here. Let me know if this is helpful to you, or even hearing the critique and what I've learned, or even just based off of the pictures that you've seen that I've did, or the looks that I've seen, and hearing what her critique was, and me saying, and me breaking down her critique and her feedback. Like, let me know if that's helpful to you too. Like, if you want to try any of those types of looks, like, is it helpful to you to hear, like, from a professional, like, tutor standpoint, like, what else could be done a little better type of thing. So, and I'm doing this hoping that it's helpful. So hang tight and you'll see me in another video. I didn't do the intro, I don't think, but you already know if you've been here. Self-acceptance, self-love, that is the Crazy Troll Nation way. Thank you, and you will see me soon.